Your credit is too important to let it become another victim of COVID-19. We're going to go over the steps to Crona Proof your credit. Let's make sure that the coronavirus doesn't get your credit sick too. At the end of this conversation, I'm going to gift you my proven letter that will remove any collection account from your credit report without paying a dime, using little-known laws that will protect you from predatory debt collectors. So if you really want great, sexy credit to get the house you deserve and win the love of your life, you can do that even during a pandemic. So, like, subscribe, hit that bell. Not subscribing to me would be like choosing to have unsexy credit for the rest of your life. So let's not let that happen. Smash that button. Now in this video, I'm going to go over the 8 steps to Crona Proof your credit. We're going to go over how you can lower your monthly expenses, defer payments without hurting your credit, and how to use the money you save to drastically increase your credit. I'm Adam Hopkins. I'm a local Las Vegas real estate agent with eXp, and I absolutely love helping people find the perfect home. Now, before I did real estate, there was a time I had a credit repair company along with my father, who was a practicing attorney for 30 plus years. We developed strategies that help thousands of people repair and actually grow their credit. Now I'm offering my credit expertise to you so that you can enjoy the benefits of home ownership, guys, and get that sexy credit. It's shocking how little understood credit is and what a difference it makes in your life to understand the game that is being played. I'm not an attorney, and I don't play one on TV. So I would advise you to understand and abide by all governing laws. The coronavirus has completely upended the world economy. And if you're unemployed or underemployed and your money is tight, well, the first thing you need to do is to make what money you do have go as far as it can. If you have less money than bills, then you have to triage the situation. My advice, always prioritize that which can damage your credit first. Now I know in this situation with the CARES Act, your credit can be more protected than ever. Make arrangements on all debt that do not report to the credit bureaus. Arrange to pay them once you have the money to do so. For example, if you have the money to pay your electric bill or pay your credit card first, then with your power company, set up payment plans or arrangement. The power company does not charge interest where your credit card company does, at a very high rate. As my Scottish grandmother used to tell me, those who understand interest collect it, those who don't pay it. But listen to my grandma, she's got good advice. Now, credit cards can drop your credit score by reporting negatively to your credit bureau. And something that, thanks to the CARES Act, is on hold. However, there is some information you need to know about that, and I'll get to that later. If you must, you can pay your credit card bill, then use the credit card to pay the power bill. This should cover your minimum payment on your credit card while at the same time paying NV Energy. Step number 2, do not pay any collection accounts. This is not just a now advice, this is a never. Okay? You should never pay a collection account. A paid collection is as bad on your credit report as an unpaid collection account. And it resets the clock, so don't do it. Check out this video over here on information on how to deal with your collection account. Click on the link up here and you can watch that. Third step, call and negotiate a discount off of all your services. Like cable, your cell phone company, I have cut my Cox bill in half by requesting a discount. Or I would switch to a different provider. So I want you to look over every service you have and see if you can get a discount. Or perhaps you can live without it entirely. I know my insurance provider can cut my bill by 20%. So now's the time to do some comparison shopping and talk to these services and see what kind of discounts you can get. This will free up money to pay higher interest rate debt, saving you money and can improve your score as much as 30%. I'm going to go over more of that, how credit utilization can really boost your score. 4th, how does the CARES Act, which President Trump signed into law on March 27th, deal with credit card debt? As I talked with you before, this can greatly improve your credit, and at least any missed payments cannot damage your credit. So the CARES Act amends the FCRA, or the Fair Credit Reporting Act, to to stop adverse credit reporting during the COVID-19 crisis, but only under specific circumstances, so it's important for you to understand. Under the amend FCRA, if a furnisher, now a furnisher is an entity like a lender or a creditor that provides information relating to consumers to one or more of the credit reporting agencies. Because you were affected by the coronavirus, that furnisher must report your account as current to the credit reporting agency, so long as you weren't already delinquent on payments. So this is very important to understand. The creditors can't report your payments as delinquent if you're up to date on your debt. If you're up to date on your debt and the creditors agree to let you defer one or more payments or to make a partial payment, but you have to come to an agreement first to avoid harmful reporting. And you have to stick to the terms of the deal. Don't unilaterally stop your payments, delay your payments, or pay less than your payments without talking to your lender or your creditor beforehand. If you already were delinquent at the time of the agreement, the creditor can't continue to report you're delinquent. So if you were delinquent, get it to current ASAP and then make an arrangement with your creditors to defer it, to do whatever programs that they're offering to make it easier. You can forego a payment altogether and they cannot damage your credit as long as you've made previous arrangements. So make sure you have a conversation with them. If you have questions about this, ask below in the comment section and I will answer. I'm sure you're going to have some questions, so please ask and I will respond. Okay, for the fifth step, if you're renting, you're in a more difficult situation than if you own your home. So you're going to need to talk to your landlord and ask them what they're offering to renters who can't make their payments. And you'll probably already know by now they cannot evict you. And they cannot assess any late payments or penalties or fees as a result. However, this is not a forever thing, and if you end up owing your landlord a ton of money, it's going to feel like you're about to be hit by a tidal wave. As of the making of this video, there is no bailouts or stimulus money to cover for back payments due, other than the $1,200 per adult and $500 per kid that you probably already received at this point. Now, this can be very problematic if the government's not helping you cover those expenses when the courts resume and evictions are allowed. So keep posted on this. I will cover any help that is available to you if you're a renter. Now, step number 6 deals with mortgages. If you own your own home, you will have more options. Banks just have better tools to help suffering homeowners. It is a major reason why I would advise anyone that is in a position to buy a home to do so without delay. Watch for my video in the coming weeks about why I believe there's a good case to be made that the housing market will not see a major decline like we saw in 2008. In fact, we may see increasing values as a result of inflation. So subscribe if you haven't already, smash that button, bam. Now, when it comes to your mortgage, the best option, if available, will always be to make your payments on time. If that is not an option, then it is important to understand your options, and always best to communicate the situation with your lenders prior to being late. Borrowers with federally backed mortgages are eligible for mortgage forbearance under Section 4022 of the CARES Act. Individuals with a single-family mortgage may write to their mortgage servicer requesting for a forbearance for up to 180 days due to the COVID-19 related difficulties. In such a case, no additional fees or penalties or interest outside of the normally scheduled terms may be levied on the borrower. The servicer may extend the period for an additional 180 days at the borrower's request. The mortgage servicer may not require any additional documentation of distress outside of the original claim of the borrower. So the letter you send them is sufficient proof of your claim. You will need to get a hold of them and ask them what your options are during the coronavirus pandemic, as it will vary from bank to bank. Now, here is why this can be superior to renting. These payments can be put at the end of the loan and not be immediately due when this situation alleviates. If you're renting, those unpaid rents will hang over your head. There are important downsides to consider when it comes to forbearance. Forbearance is not forgiveness. These payments will require being paid back. Although they cannot charge you any penalties, there will be interest charged. And when you sell your home, you will have less equity to the equivalent of the payments you missed. Be sure to understand the ramifications of any options you choose to take. There are some banks that are only wanting to spread out missing payments over a certain time period. And if that doesn't work for you, don't take no for an answer. Your government is requiring everything to be shut down. Persistence could pay dividends here. Demand that they work this out in a way that is best for you. The eighth and my final step is my proven collection letter. This letter has had a 80 to 90% success rate in removing collection reports without paying the collectors even 1 red cent. Collection agencies are the kind of creditors that harass people, doing all kinds of questionable collection practices. So in response, the federal government has written laws to protect you from their abusive nature. One little known law is the cease and desist, which is essentially the right to fire them. You can choose to only work with the original creditor. A creditor, by the way, that has already written off your debt and has taken a credit benefit. You have no obligation to work with these collection companies, so don't. And one huge benefit of this is that in most cases, the original creditor does not have the ability to report to your credit report. For example, a hospital does not have an account with the credit bureaus. If you fail to pay your hospital bill, they cannot report to your credit report directly. They have to send it to a collection company. Now that collection company does have that ability and reports it for them. For more information on how to handle and deal with these collection agencies, and check out this video, as I've already pointed out to once, click on that link and check it out, because you do not and should never work with collection agencies. Now, how to get directions on getting this letter, down below you'll find a link or some information that tells you how to get a copy of my letter. My next video is on the power of credit utilization, how it works and why. Understanding and implementing this concept will rapidly improve your credit score. And for this one tip, I need to do a whole video just on its own. It's that important. 30% of your score is calculated on your credit utilization. So it's a very important algorithm that you need to understand and will greatly increase your credit score when you utilize it. How much of your credit are you using? How does that credit affect your score? Could you be using your credit card to actually increase your score? So if you have found this advice helpful, will you please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Please share this with others, and let's end credit ignorance in America. This November, I'm asking for your vote to make your credit great again. I'm Adam Hopkins for the Coalition Against Unsexy Credit, and I approve this message.